Hey, thanks for clicking in. It's time for time together again. Now I'm rhyming. I'm really making some strides in the YouTube land. So today I just want to do a bit of a talk on being able to manage the past and deal with the concept of forgiveness, forgiving ourselves, and kind of speak from that spot. So I hope that you'll listen in. My name is Jenni Page. I am a marriage and family therapist and also the founder of the Greater Women Club. And we are all about making good women great. If you're a woman, you're in the club. Easy. So I was inspired this weekend. It was a weekend for some people in the world of kind of like taking some time to be able to evaluate the last year and to be able to think about what it is that I want to do in the new year, and for all the ways that I perhaps hurt my fellow humankind, coming to a place where I can forgive myself for that and to be able to move forward. When people say they're sorry, are you sorry in a way that you're going to do something about it? Or do you say sorry because it somehow releases a little bit of the anxiety? I know somebody was asking me the other day because I was walking into a room and I was saying, "Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry." And they're like, how come you're doing that?" And I was like, "Well, I guess because I want to, but that when I present myself to a room and I'm taking your time, I want to make sure that I'm giving you 100%. However, I feel like my brain's in a million different directions. However, it's not your fault. So I want to make sure I say I'm sorry." And I was challenged on that. So now I am thinking more so about that and not just letting sorry come out of my mouth. That I'm going to do my best to be able to speak a little bit more specific. That I've walked into your room and I'm now focused on my phone, and let me stop this and then we can talk. Something like that. Just engaging, I think, in a more authentic manner, because I am sorry that I've got so many things going on that I can't do and be exactly the way I want to be. However, I'm also human, right? So the idea about forgiveness and thinking back to before, whenever things have happened or I've done something, could be really terrible. Okay. There's some times when we've really made some mistakes and we didn't intend for them to be that way, but it turned out that way. And we can really get on ourselves about how we handled ourselves at that time, and we continue to hurt ourselves because of it. As I have said, and as I will continue to say, we are always learning. And it is sometimes necessary that if we have done something or we feel like we've done something that's wrong, that we literally take 100% ownership of that and then forgive ourselves from there. And sometimes that can sound a little scary, for sure. Because, well, one, maybe I'm not 100% to blame here. But two, what would it mean if I was 100% to blame here? There's those two little spots there. The thing is, though, no matter if we can wrap our head around it enough that we are willing to forgive ourselves for it, it doesn't matter. And when it comes back into our mind, we can know that we've already forgiven ourselves for that. We don't have to go back into the negative words and the negative feelings about ourselves and all the little negative things that we can say about here. Remember, I try to leave things a little bit vague because I really do want you thinking about your own life. Because what we tend to do sometimes is separate ourselves from the other person by listening to the other person, but not necessarily joining with the other person. And we can't always join, okay? But if a person is, when we hear stories, I mean, I can sit there and watch a commercial on TV and just start crying. because I just, for whatever reason, really connect to that situation. A mom that's doing a million things, or somebody just, I mean, every single time I watch, I think America's Got Talent, and you have people out there just singing their little hearts out or dancing or whatever their talent is. I mean, it never fails. I'm always crying at some point in that show, because it's just the courage that it takes for that person to just get out there and give it their all. Give it their all. I remember whenever I was a swimmer and they would say, just give it everything you got. Give it everything you got. And, you know, I got to tell you, I don't think I ever figured out how to give it everything I had. I always could pop out of the water. I mean, I swam as fast as I could. I worked as hard as I could, that I, could. However, did I have more left? Probably, but I didn't know how to access it. And so I just really admire people that just feel spent after something that they've done. They've just completely exhausted themselves and they've completely done everything it is. Like the people that, do marathons, and they just get up there, and then right as they cross the line, they're just done. And it's like they made it. They did everything they needed to do just to get there. And see, I just get emotional right now thinking about it, because what just occurred to me is how much of the time we are, I guess, given everything we got. I mean, there's only so much time in the day, and we're all working and trying to do what it is that we need to do in order to get done with the things that we need to get done and what everybody else needs from us. And sometimes we're just crawling by the end of the day. I've got, moms that, at the end of the day, they're trying to do everything, and they're still trying to spend time with their kiddos. And there they are, wanting to spend time with their kiddos, and yeah, just kind of falling asleep, because I mean, we've literally given everything we've had that day. So glad I had that thought while we were talking. So yeah, so I may not have been able to give everything I had in my swim races, but I certainly believe I've given everything I have on many, many days of the week. So I love the word "so." Evidently, when I go back, I look at the editing part of this, and I hear a lot of ands, and I hear a lot of ums, and I hear a lot of so's. I'll get better. Do you ever have those situations where you just have to talk and talk and talk? You're like, no. Normally, it's a back and forth conversation. Yeah, I know. Leave a comment. I wanted to add this, and that is, there's times in the past where, it'll get to us. And I want you to be able to, when you forgive yourselves, just to go ahead and take it all. Take it all, so that, and then forgive yourself. And then when it comes back to your awareness, you can know, well, I know it didn't go the way I'd planned. Can't do anything about that now, but what I can do is this, and then get busy doing what it is that you need to be doing. I also like the idea, where I was also inspired this weekend, is that our willingness to see ourselves as the other, or see ourselves as human, see ourselves as the person that we may not, um, like if we see our, so there was a family, and whether or not it's right or wrong to give money to those that are on the side of the road, there's a lot of different opinions about that. um, but what I saw in that family is there's a dad, there's a mom, and there's 3 kids sitting there, and I could tell they weren't from around here. And I was going along, and I didn't know what to do, because I thought, well, I don't want to encourage, people to be on the side of the road, because sometimes they can feel scary, that when I'm coming to a stop sign, if I have people that are standing next to my car, and I'm like kind of just stopped there and I can't move, it can make me feel nervous. But then I started to think, well, what if this is the situation where at this time, they are the people that are reaching out for help, and I'm the person that can offer help. Do I pass that up? So I couldn't deliberate with it anymore. I just drove back and gave them, some money. And they said, "Oh, thank you very much." And but I saw myself that, there's I saw a family just not knowing what else to do. I mean, and I've been that person where I just didn't know what else to do. And so I have also been the person that didn't know what else to do, and I put myself in the position to hopefully get help, and well, I got help. It worked out that way. And so, so I saw that person and I thought, well, I'm going to do that. And I mean, we can think, well, maybe they're going to take the money and they're going to do X, Y, and Z with it, but it's really not my concern after my money has, left my hands and gone into their hands. So, and I just think that's just a level of compassion because I think we can all get there. You know, I talked to I've talked to kids before, I work with kids, and one child was not able to make it in a family because they told me that the family was too fancy. They lived in too big of a house, and I don't know what the family was like. I didn't know the child at the time, and it's years back now. And I just thought about, what if that family was a family that just had all the resources in the world and they wanted to reach out and love that kid, but the kid couldn't couldn't see himself being okay in that kind of environment. So, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough whenever we've been hurt in the past and we're not sure exactly how to be able to move forward. But I think the more that we can look at our fellow human out there, the better off that we are. That when we smile, we really smile. When we say, "I hope you have a good day," like we're really hoping that they have a good day. Um, so I'm just thoughtfully moving through life. I'm trying to think about, as my time moves forward and I'm moving into the rest of the year, the holidays. Um, like, how is it that I want to live my life to where I can feel really proud of myself and feel like I've accomplished something. And I inspire you to do the same. Think about I think we did a little meme this week about something about building your heart first. Like if you don't know what to do, like build your heart first. Like if you don't know where to start. I just thought that was brilliant. Like of course we can start with our heart. And if there's something inside of you that is not feeling great, then let's figure out what's not great about it. Sometimes things can bother us when we just can't figure it out and they stay on the outside of us and they just continue to spin and spin and spin and spin. And what's important is that we can take a very long look at what it is that's spinning and see what it is that we need to see. Like there was one time that I just couldn't process how come our relationship ended. I just couldn't. There was all this evidence. And then finally I had to look very, very closely and realize the person we were never ever really in relationship. I was in a relationship with that person, but that person was not really in relationship with me. There were a lot of acts as if we were in relationship, but when I looked back, I could see that we weren't really in relationship. And then when I could really see that, and that was a very, very painful thing to see, but whenever I figured that out, then what happened made sense. And I was able then to incorporate it, put it into my corpse. It wasn't out here, it's just in here. And then I became sad. But I'll take sad over, any day of the week. I'll take sad because eventually, I've cocooned myself enough to where I'll get up and get going again. But I tell you what, I think I could have wasted, I mean, many, 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 many weeks. And I don't know about for you all, if there's something that really plagued your mind for a really long time, that anxiety, that rotating of things. So maybe we'll start exploring some more of that in the future too. But just ask your questions because I really want to know. And if something doesn't make sense, please let me know. And if you think I need to talk about something, please let me know. These are all please let me know cues. So thank you so much for your time. And I'm sorry, I look forward to time together next week. All right. Bye.